In the beginning, there was the fight between the primordials and the celestials over the dominion of the earth. Then came the birth of the Titans, and then eventually the gods, and then a whole bunch of paranoia that would eventually lead to the father versus son battle that we see in God of War. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? This is Gaming Nation, presented to you by Fandoms Anonymous, the show of gaming, Gab, and in this episode, gods. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about God of War. You've seen it, the new trailer that just popped up here recently. It got an official release date, and it looks fantastic. So we're going to be talking about that on today's show. We have talked about it in various points from here to there, little tidbits about, our anticipations, how we're looking at it, and of course on the various coming up segments, you heard it several times over, we're waiting for God of War, which finally got a release date, and we'll talk about that today. So sit back, enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the panelists, the homeboys. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, my friends. Darrell, what's up?
What's up, guys? God of War, let's do it.
All right, Dan, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, people? It's your boy D-Braz in the building. It's going down. For this episode, it's going to be called God of War Nation, okay? Let's get it.
That's right, and I'm Clay from Tales of the Blade, your host. Let's get right into it. Cue the intro. All right, so you've seen the new trailer, the new story trailer, and of course I'm showing it to you right here. It goes from start to finish about how Kratos is now going through the Scandinavian regions of Norway, possibly Finland, maybe a little Sweden, mostly probably Norway, a very mountainous region, especially because we're dealing with Norse mythology. He has ventured north. He took a little pilgrimage north of Greece where he flooded, destroyed, and pretty much destroyed all plant life on the planet. I don't even know how we have anything left anymore. It's so sad. But not only that, but he had a family, he has a kid, and there's a whole lot of controversy surrounding the kid in this trailer because the whole purpose of what looks like the story, this is what I mentioned at the very beginning, is the existence of the turmoil between father and son and the nature and the duality of humans and gods. So we're going to start right off on that. Darrell, let's talk about your reaction to the trailer, man. How'd you feel about it?
Oh, man, I'm excited. On to a new engine, okay, and then to find out Kratos got a child, I mean, that's even more exciting. But I'm just wondering, okay, because I played all the God of Wars, okay? I played God of War 1, 2, and 3. Now, I know I had sex with a lot of women on God of War. Do you have other kids out there? I mean, where this child come from? Is it, I don't know, okay?
I mean, you want to jump into that. I don't want to get grim on you all of a sudden, brother, but that whole part of the world got destroyed, all right?
He's trying to go Maury. That baby don't look like me.
According to the results of the parental test, you are the father.
Hey, I'm not thinking, okay. Now, hold up now. Aphrodite was a god, and she did not die in God of War 3. I'm just saying. Okay.
Hey.
I mean, there were a few gods left. Yeah, there were a few gods left, I'm sure. But, I mean, you got to think that he destroyed their entire realm, so where are they going to go? Are we even, maybe we'll see Aphrodite in the new one. I don't know. She'll stop by for a fling. I don't know. She'll be some DLC or something like that.
I'm just saying, hold up. Just why no kids came back in, okay? I was in Greece the whole time, doing whatever I want to do, and no babies came. All of a sudden I go to North, and this baby come out of nowhere. Come on now. I'm just wondering here.
Maybe Aphrodite can actively, maybe her power as a god is active birth control. Who knows?
But anyway, this trailer, I'm talking about, I'm excited about it, okay? Just seeing, Kratos, in more calmer, perception, okay? And then him with this child who's going to be his companion. I mean, I'm excited. I mean, I love the trailer. I mean, I love everything about the trailer. And then look at that new weapon he has. Mm-hmm. His weapon kind of reminds me of Mariner. I can't say that word really good. Yeah. How he can throw it and bring it back, like how Thor used his weapon. So was that weapon made by the same Doors who made Thor's weapon? I mean, it's just so many questions, and I just can't wait to play this game.
I mean, it's a good possibility because Thor also had, mythologically speaking, an axe that was key to him. It wasn't just Mjolnir. So, and I forgot the name of it, but I'm going to put it up. But I'm going to do some research, and I'm going to put it up right here. Here you go. There it is. That's the name of the axe right there. So all you people watching, you see it. There's even a picture. There you go. Enjoy. Dan, what was your reaction to the trailer, man? What did you think about that?
Oh man, my reaction to this trailer, I was like screaming at the TV screen, man. Like they always say when you're a parent, the game changes, life changes for you. And I think that when they were deciding on this game, they're like, how can we change this game? And nothing changes the game better than throwing a kid into it, man. Because, you know, we talked about this before. Is he going to be softer now? Like, is he going to be like less God of War-ish because he has a kid? But I mean, by the trailers, I'm thinking not. I mean, he's still killing people. I mean, he's teaching his son the way. But man, I can't wait, dude. I think that this adds a whole different style. And with the play style, is it gonna be like some team up, like you're beating up somebody and then you call on your son to drop a bomb on it? You know what I've learned? Like, not a bomb because it's God of War, but you know, like use some type of powers or magic or whatever. Just come up and start slicing people with you.
Well, we did see this in the trailer, Dan, you know, when he's called his son to shoot the arrows and to stun some of those enemies. So we did see that. You know,
yeah, shooting. I did see that. Okay, so I wonder, is that going to be like? Are you going to be like the in-ground guy, and your son's going to be in the back, just like killing these fools, or what? Man, I think it's awesome. I mean, there's so much speculation about it, of what like the storyline's going to be like, of like what his son's going to be like. We can't wait, man. You need to get this here now, God of War. We need this in our lives.
That's true. It's very true. But actually, I'm glad both of you brought up some really awesome points just from your reaction and your questions that you left in there. So let's talk briefly about the basic themology behind God of War. So, I mean, just from the beginning, and even what I said at the very beginning about the paranoia between father and son, the whole premise of God of War, the reason what threw Kratos into the mix was actually thought to be a plot by Ares, but it actually was all paranoia by Zeus. So Zeus, after dealing with Kronos and after becoming the big dog on Olympus, went down to Earth, and of course we all know the story of Greek mythology, how Zeus liked to get down there and do like Darrell, but he fathered a lot of children, okay? And in one such situation, he fathered twins. One of them was marked on the left side of his face with a red marking. Now, before you guys go off and think that that was immediately Kratos, it's not. It was his brother Deimos, who was taken by Ares during a raid on his village, which was actually led by Ares and Athena. Which was interesting because those are the two basic gods that we deal with throughout the beginning course of the series. Ares had gone and kidnapped Deimos because Zeus thought that Deimos was the one who was going to be the one to overthrow him. During that point, Kratos showed his audacity and actually jumped up and tried to strike down the god of war, but got, bashed in the side of the face, and so the right side of his face got marked. Then, when he became a Spartan, he actually did himself up in war paint in honor of his brother Deimos on the left side of his face and got it, tattooed. So that way, he would honor the memory of his brother. This, of course, was inevitably the prophecy that would lead to son overthrowing father yet again, because Kronos, being Zeus's father, was son overthrowing father. Kronos overthrew his father Uranus. So all throughout the history of Greek mythology, you have that basic themology. Now you look at the story trailer that we're presenting here for God of War, the new game, and you see Kratos afraid of actually telling his son, you are part God. And that's creating turmoil within him. So you see you see that in the trailer, and you see the kid dealing with the duality of being part. That's actually what you're looking at. So, Darrell, how are you feeling about that, man? What are your thoughts?
You just confused me a whole lot. Oh man.
Go ahead.
Okay. I already thought that, this is our last time seeing Kratos.
Uh-huh.
I thought this was our last time seeing Kratos. I don't know, for some reason, I didn't think Kratos was going to die on this one.
Right.
But I never thought that it would be his son, the one who's going to kill him. You just confused me, Clay. Why did you do that?
I'm sorry. It's how I do. It's how I throw a wrench in things, man.
Oh man.
But
watching
the story trailer, that's what I got from it, man. So I mean, I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
I thought it was going to be one of the Norse gods who's going to end up killing Kratos and his son taking revenge. But I never thought that his son would probably kill Kratos and become this vengeful, Spartan like his father is.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, Kratos was vicious in the other games. He was very, very vicious. And we see his son struggling with that in these trailers. So, and Kratos was never a hero, you might well say. I mean, he was never a hero in any of the games if you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, is his son gonna be? Oh man, I'm just confused. I'm getting a headache.
There's a whole bunch of new thoughts going in Darrell's head now, and actually even to Dan's point about him, you thinking that he was going to be a little bit softer, and then all of a sudden he gets a little more vicious during the trailer. He's also dealing with that kind of suppression of his duality. When you talk about Kratos having to force that back, trying to take his godlike nature and his vicious and try to keep it from his son.
Exactly. And then another thing happened in the trailer that I looked at. Okay, we know what the chaos Kratos caused in Greece. We know he caused some kind of chaos. He did something wrong, and he resents that. His son hate the gods. Looks like in his trailer.
Mm-hmm.
His son, like he was trying to kill a god, and his father stopped him. He said, "Look, there's consequences for killing a god." So I'm thinking, is Kratos going to stop him from trying to kill a god, and that's what's going to lead his son to ultimately killing him or attacking him? I mean, it's just so many questions I got now. I can't think of no more. Give it to Dan.
Go, Dan. Go. What do you think, man?
Yo, so you just didn't throw a wrench in the street. You went to Home Depot, got the whole tool collection, and dropped it in the street, bud.
And I'm talking the big 150 piece here.
You get a wrench. You all get a wrench, man. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking, man. Like, we got a saying, I got some homies. We've been through some situations, and you can take the man out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the man.
That's right.
And Kratos, you could tell that in this beginning, he's like, man, what did I do? Why did I have to wipe that girl up? Now I got a kid, and I can't be who I want to be no more. I'm going to have to probably kill my son because he's going to try to take my spot. Like, you see it in his face, and as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, my God, he's right. Like, this is real. Especially dealing with this, man. We're all pretty respectable people, but just imagine if we were some big drug lords, gang lords, like doing a lot of bad, and we want to keep our kids from that, right? But what if you're the one? What if you're the guy running everything? You know what I mean? And maybe your son doesn't fully agree with what you're doing. This is a very cool story because this happens all the time. Smart, not obviously gods and killing people, but we all have instances with our parents where we don't get along. Where I might think this way, you think this way, and we're never going to come to the same terms. But how do we move through that? How do we get along? Or are we going to kill each other? That's pretty much where we're getting here in this game. And this is nuts. I think that it's a whole different plot twist. And I love it because we've seen the same thing for so long. It's like one of those favorite shows that you just love it. I don't want anything to change. But now it's like season 4 and 5. And we're like, okay, okay, God of War, it's time. We need something different. And they just didn't give us something different. They gave us a whole new storyline. And thank you, Sony. Thank you, PlayStation. Thank you, God of War.
That's right. That's right. So, I mean, yeah, like, there's a whole lot going on, and there's a lot of tie-ins to the original story, the original theme behind God of War. And the interesting thing about it is actually seeing Kratos' doubt in action. And the whole, my whole take from that is actually based on the whole understanding of what Kratos went through during the original God of War series, and actually the part that both Athena and, by extension, Pandora played in his existence. When he opened Pandora's box in God of War 1, he let loose the darkness that was within, and that was what was thought to give Kratos his power, but actually that went to the other gods, instilling doubt in them, which actually strengthened Zeus's doubt about the whole prophecy of Father overthrowing Son, what spurred him to action to really take down Kratos. I mean, along with the fact that Kratos got a little bit bloodthirsty after he became God of War, but Kratos himself got infused with hope, which was actually what Athena sent into Pandora's box, which resonated with the energy from the key that Hephaestus made, which became Pandora. So at the end of everything, Kratos held within him the light for the creation of the new world, which Athena wanted, but he didn't give it to her in God of War 3. He ran the sword right through himself, and then everything else happened. So there was a whole lot of difference in there. So are we going to see the revitalization of that hope in Kratos and in his son? Is it going to have a much more positive outcome than just, you know, father overthrowing son, or father avenging son, or son avenging father, or whatever the case may be? But aside from that, we're going to leave that hanging in the air a little bit till we see what the game is actually going to bring us. Get a little bit more anticipation in there. Aside from that, let's talk about the connection between the worlds. Okay, there's obviously going to be a lot of confusion here. We were just discussing this prior to the show, so we'll try to bring that up a little bit more. But when you talk about what happened in God of War 3, actually not even God of War 3 itself, but all of God of War, he scorched the earth, he flooded the earth, he destroyed all plant life on the earth, he completely threw the whole world into a state of ruin, because the idea behind Mount Olympus is it is the anchor of the world. You see it so many times in different mythologies about the one pillar that holds the earth together, or you hear about in the 9 pillars. That was actually Nosgoth of the Legacy of Kain series. You hear about the Black Tower, written by Stephen King, which of course he drew from various other mythologies as well, holding the world and reality together. So looking at that, how did we go from him completely just foobarring the world and then ending up in Norway, and now it's all lush and it's open and it's mountainous and it's beautiful, and you swear he never touched the place? And you would think that he went into a different realm, but actually in the trailer you saw him inside of some, what looked to be a tomb or a treasure trove of some kind, and there was an urn, or not necessarily an urn, but more like a Grecian pot that had depiction of him in his earlier days as the God of War. So let's talk about that for a second. Dan, where do you think that the possibility of that connection lies?
Man, I think it lies.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Dan?
I
there you are.
And I dropped my controller and I hit the ground real quick. But I'm good. So I think there's a couple ideas. You know, we were talking about where did he just show up, and they didn't really give us a great story on how he just kind of showed up in this Norwegian region and. Say that 5 times fast.
Norwegian region.
So yeah, he shows up here and it's like, and he's like cool, like you can tell this man's been eating, he's been drinking good, he's got women around, he's got children now, like life is good. But How did he get here? I am a little confused on this, and I'm hoping that one of you guys, one of our other experts, can put this together, because it was a little weird for me. And we'll talk about this in a little bit, but I'm very confused here. Help me out, boys.
Darrell, touch on it.
Well, me, okay, I'm not really concerned how he got there. I'm more concerned is why he's there. Like, why?
Because the southern part of the world is flooded.
But then I thought he didn't want to live no more. I thought he didn't want to live anymore, so I thought he destroyed himself. Like,
well,
didn't he?
I mean, at the same time, you know, you got to think about this. If he didn't want to live anymore, he could have literally let himself bleed out on Mount Olympus, and that'd have been that. But he crawled off and went into the Aegean, so.
Yeah, and see, I'm just wondering, you know, like, so I guess he wanted to live in peace. I'm guessing he wanted to live a little peace. Okay, you know what? Let me go here and live in peace. And I'm pretty sure these are gods here. Okay, we talking about Zeus. We talking about oh my God, I'm going to die because I can't think of his name. Oh,
come on,
man,
come on. Come on.
I don't want to ask y'all. I can't think of his name.
Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, Ares.
Ares.
No. I'm talking about the Norse gods.
Oh,
Odin. Okay.
You're talking about Odin.
Yeah,
okay.
Okay. Now, why? I mean, Odin is the All-Father, so I'm pretty sure he knows what happened in Greece. So
That's
I'm
true.
wondering, did he tell his sons about this? And, you know, all these gods here, I'm pretty sure they heard about it. So, yeah, they heard about it. And, you know, Loki, you know, he got whispers. So he probably told, you know, these people told these people. So that's how it got around. So I'm thinking that's why, you know, that urn that Clay was talking about, that's why they urn here. People have heard about, you know, this god killer over there in Greece. They heard about him. And so they want everybody to know, if you ever see this guy, just destroy him. So maybe that's why Kratos grew his beard out. That's why he wanted to look a little bit different. So people won't think that's him. That's why he chose a different weapon. Because if you notice, he doesn't have those Athena blades anymore. He doesn't have them anymore.
Nope.
Okay? So, I'm just guessing right now. I'm guessing he tried to change himself. Obviously, he can't get that, you know, that white skin. He can't change that.
No.
Because those are the ashes of his daughter and his wife.
Yep.
That's a curse.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm just guessing maybe he just want to look a little bit different, and he wants to live in peace. But these gods won't let him live in peace because, hell, we know who you are. We know you was vicious in Greece. We know what you did to Greece. We can't just let you stay around. We can't. So these Greeks, I think the Norse gods are coming for him. And in the end, he got to protect himself. And then they probably think that his son, you know, is going to be just like him. So I think it's defense. And right now, I mean, it's like I say, like certain animals out there. I mean, those animals are probably more scared of you than them.
True.
So the North gods are probably more scared of him. They think he's going to do the same thing to them what he did to Greece. So they're coming for him. So that's why he getting help from, you know, other gods that don't like the, you know, what they call them, Clay? The other Norse gods, like Thor and Odin. What do you call them?
Well, the Norse gods.
You know, in Greece, you got the Olympians. What does, you know, Odin call him his...
Asgardians. Bless you, man.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, Asgardians. I'm thinking, you know, you got the Asgardians, and you got the other gods that don't like the Asgardians.
Yeah.
So, like the world serpent, you know, the world serpent don't like the Asgardians. So that's why they're helping Kratos. So it's just, I believe this is going on here.
Maybe the world serpent was the one who brought him over here. I mean,
yes.
I mean, we see his obvious fascination with Kratos in one of the trailers, Jormungandr. So he jumps up on comes to him on the boat, and Kratos gets up and like, whoa, hold on, buddy. But at the same time, it raises a few questions, and I'm glad you brought that up. A couple key points. How did he get there? First and foremost, let's look at the fact that the Norse gods, the Norse mythological gods, the Asgardians, they are a war gods. war gods, a series of war gods. Their whole thing is that if they fight well, if they lead valorous lives, they go to Valhalla, where they fight for eternity with the great heroes of old until Ragnarok come. And you look at the fact that Kratos himself was a war god. Maybe there was a fascination with him. Maybe there wasn't so much a fear of him, to the point where, because they're also very haughty. They're like, whatever, we can take this guy, no problem. Silly Olympian gods. All you care about is wine and fornication. We got you. We got you covered. So maybe they looked at that and were like, you know what? Let's save him. Maybe they whisked him away with some Valkyries. Because how did he get the axe? That's not a regular axe. That's an Asgardian axe. Maybe Jormungandr had something to do with it. Of course, and Jormungandr being the world serpent, the big thing, the snake that you see. And of course, you see it in the God of War new emblem. The O, which used to be the Omega symbol, is now the world serpent coiled. Not necessarily to the same point as an Ouroboros, but just the big snake thing. So there's a few different questions raised there by itself. How he got there and the reason for him being there. The fact that so far in the trailer we have seen no god interaction, but rather just big titanous creatures that you would normally see within that sort of mythology, and the fact that he really was thrust back into the role of being himself while they were out on a hunting trip. He was he was in the opening teaching his son to hunt, like we've seen it in Horizon at the very beginning with Aloy, something like that.
Aloy, something like that.
Yeah, Aloy. I know the name. I'm playing the game, so yeah, I got this covered. And then you also see it in what's that game? I can't believe I forgot that. Last of Us, where Joel Joel was teaching Ellie how to use a gun for the most part. So we see a lot of that sort of themology in that. So, Dan, does that answer any of your questions?
Yes, it really does, and it got me thinking, man, like, when you've done a lot of wrong in your life, sometimes you want to move on. Sometimes you want to change yourself. And honestly, I think Darrell broke that down very good for me. I think Darrell's right. And at some point in your life, no matter how much good or bad you do, you got to take a step back and retire. And that's what I think he did. I think that he went on his killing spree. He did Grease bad, and he took a step back. Now, maybe it will explain more why, but I think once he found out he had a kid, he was probably like, oh man, like I can't teach this kid exactly everything that I know because he's going to end up killing me or killing his family, So I really like your guys' theory on this, and it's probably right because it makes a lot of sense, At some point, you can't just be doing the same thing your whole life. There has to be a change. The only thing constant in life is change. Yep. So I really do agree with this, and thank you guys for going in depth and kind of helping me there. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's not a problem.
It was one thing Dan brought up, okay, but we was talking about, in the beginning of the show, the voice actor. So now we know the original voice actor from, the God of War 3 trilogy, and this has changed. Clay, what's his name?
Well, we went from Anthony C. Carson, who was the voice actor for the majority of the God of War series. There was one other, and his name is right here. There you go. And he did some of the offshoots and the probably the handhelds. So, but we're actually getting Christopher Judge, who was Teuk from the Stargate series, and he's going to be the new voice actor for God of War, which is going to be interesting. And actually, Darrell brings up a good point with that. Go ahead, Darrell.
Yeah. So if you listen to Kratos from Greece and the Kratos now, you can probably tell the accent is different. Okay. Yep. So Kratos from, like I said, the God of War trilogy, he had more of a Greece accent. Now this Kratos has a more of a northern accent. And it gets you to wondering why he got a northern accent and he should have a Greek accent. Clay White brought up a great point. Clay, tell us what she said.
Well, she actually brought up a really interesting point where the fact that, you know, she comes from North Carolina, where and now she talks with a much more urban accent, I guess I would use. It's a lot less southern. It's not quite northern, but it's kind of in the middle. I like to people refer to it up north as in the Carolinas as city talk, but you hear it when she gets angry. She gets really heavy southern, and she gets ghetto sometimes too. That's kind of funny to hear.
But see, guess what? You brought up that brings up a great point, because we seen Kratos get angry, and he didn't sound like that Norse mythology.
Nope.
You know, he sounded different. He sounded like, okay, anger. Now you sound like you're from Greece. So that's a great point. So it brings us to the next point. How long has Kratos been here? Well, we know he's been there long enough to have a child. Okay, so how long has he been there to have his accent to change? So it's a lot of things we can look at.
I mean, he was there long enough to foster a relationship. He was there long enough to grow that luscious beard of his. And then, of course, have a kid who's at least 8 years old. I mean, he's not like teenager, but he's definitely not necessarily a toddler either. So he's got to be 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there. But
yeah, I want to say 10 to 12, maybe.
All right, we'll do it.
Maybe about 10 to 12. We'll figure it out.
Dan, what's your prediction on that? What's his age, man? We'll put money on it.
He's 9 years old.
All right, there you go. So I go 8.
I didn't want to go. I was
like
gonna
9.
just be an idiot and just say 5 or something, since you guys got 9 cents.
I'm gonna go with 11. I'm gonna go with 11 years old.
I'll go with 9. I think he looks about 9, and he could be a little bit older, but you guys already picked like 11 and 10, so I'm like, I'll pick 9. That sounds right.
All right, so when I win, I'm expecting y'all to pony up. I'm just saying. Y'all send that money via y'all send that expensive money via much more expensive stamp. That'd be a complete waste of time. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for this episode. We're really looking forward to the new God of War, which is coming out. It got a release date. I was gonna say it's gonna come, but guess what? It's coming out on April 20th. That's right, 4/20, and we're gonna blaze through Nora.
I know what I'm doing on 4/20, man. Yeah, smoking, God of War, smoking war, man.
I don't know. I don't know why they chose it, man. I don't know why they chose it.
The room's gonna be so cloudy I can't see the screen.
You know what?
They knew what they were doing.
No, they knew what they were doing, because here's what's going to happen. You're going to have a bunch of people going to call out of work, not only to toke up, but they're also going to be playing God of War at the same time. That's a brilliant move, Sony Santa Monica. I'm proud of y'all.
Game changer, bud.
So they're going to blaze their way through Norway. That's all that's going to be to it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for our show. We thank you guys so much for listening. As always, it's that time of the show. It's coming up. Darrell, what's your coming up post for this week, man?
Really, I don't have one again. I'm sorry. I just...
Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Clay did it. Okay. Red Dead Redemption 2. We got a release date. Okay.
There you go.
It's coming fall. So, yes. Well, what is it? The 23rd?
Yeah.
The 23rd? Yes. So, hey, you know me. I've been excited about, Red Dead Redemption. It's coming out. We got a release date. It's time. Let's go.
All right, there you go. See, I had to save him on that one. Darrell's like, I'm not going to pick another one. I'm like, come on, bro. You blew it up on Gaming Nation. You blew it up on the Gaming Nation chat. Cover Red Dead Redemption 2. Dan, what's your pick for this week, man?
Yo, I got a really cool favorite, man. You know me, I'm the sports guy. I love sports games. 2 days ago, UFC 3 just dropped, and I loved the first 2. And what's cool with UFC is they don't give us like a game every year like Madden or 2K or NHL. They wait like 2 or 3 years for for the game to really change, as you will, with new fighters, styles, and see, like last UFC, UFC 2, Ronda Rousey was like the baddest fighter in it. Well, now it's UFC 3, and she's now in the WWE. So it's pretty cool how they wait to kind of give it to you, because like with NBA and NFL, there's a lot going on year to year. With UFC, there kind of isn't, because it takes if you're a fighter, you only get about 1 or 2 fights a year. So I like what they're doing with UFC to kind of keep the game fresher. I have not played it yet. I'm not the biggest EA Games fan, but I'm hoping that they do this right, because the last one was actually really good. I don't want to see no DLC to get a gold badge, Ronda Rousey or Holly Holm or something that can just destroy everybody. I want a fair fight, and I want to have some fun and beat some people up.
That's right, that's right. And, of course, I mean, you look at Ronda Rousey being in the UFC and then, of course, in the WWE. I guess she couldn't, take it in a match where she might actually win or lose depending on how the fight goes, to going to something that's scripted to where she might actually win. Oh, sorry, did I say that out loud? Ronda, don't come hit me, please!
Oh, she'll knock your ass.
I know.
She'll knock you out.
Yeah,
I almost cursed, but I did.
Don't do it! Don't do it!
Uh-oh, here come YouTube. YouTube
don't demonetize us.
No YouTube police. I'm good, Popo.
We're good. We're good. It's all good. And, of course, my pick for this week is actually going to be one that was talked about in 2018, or being released in 2018. So, Square Enix, you better not push it back anymore. You're going to make me really, really upset. Final Fantasy VII Remake. We've seen some couple new screenshots. And, of course, they keep replaying the same old trailer. But I never stop getting tired of watching it. I never get tired of watching it. I never stop getting tired of watching. That's completely different. I never get tired of watching it. It's beautiful. It looks great. I cannot wait to try it. Throw out a beta. Give us something. Give us a little something. A taste. Just a little taste. That's all I'm asking for. Quit holding us in anticipation. But that's going to do it for this show, ladies and gentlemen. And so, as always, we're going to nope. And, of course, that's going to do it for the rest of the show, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you guys once again for watching. Darrell, where can we find you, my friend?
Man, you can find me every week here on Gaming Nation. You can find me on Fandoms on YouTube and on Facebook chat. I'm always on there. I'm always ready to talk about anything, just games, movies, sports, Superbowl coming out, everything.
That's right, that's right. And Dan, where can we find you, my friend?
Hey, y'all first can find me up here in Iowa, where it's 0 degrees right now. Second of all, y'all can find me on YouTube at the Fan Club. Also find us on Facebook, TFC563. Also find me on the Gaming Nation page on Facebook. I love talking to all you guys, all the fans out there talking games. Let's get it going. Thanks, guys.
And, of course, you can find me, Clay, from Tales of the Blade, right here on Gaming Nation every week. Also on the Tales of the Blade Facebook and YouTube channel. Checking it out every single week on Gaming Nation, where it's completely unscripted. That's why we mess up so much, but that's how you know it's real. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know who we are Fandoms Anonymous. It's FANDOMSANONYMOUS. We're all over social media right now. You can check us out on Instagram, Twitter. You can check us out on Facebook, of course, and the YouTube channel. Please come by, subscribe, like, check us out, share us. You want to join the conversations. They're awesome. They're fantastic. I sound like Trump there for a second. And then we get into it every single day. It's never a dull moment. So please come by, check us out. Definitely give us a look. And ladies and gentlemen, as we always do, if there's anything else, thanks for listening. Have a good one.